Well, President Trump is cleaning up Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. And when he suggested maybe doing similar things in Chicago and Boston, New York, L.A., some of the major cities in our country that are crime infested, the left just freaks out. They freak out. And Walker Wildman with Tim Wildman, this is Reason and Company. Walker, what President Trump is doing in Washington, D.C. by bringing in the National Guard and the FBI is there in a more heavy presence. He's the idea that he's using to clean up Washington, D.C. is working.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's working.
It's working.
Undoubtedly.
Look at the stats.
Yeah, President Trump and the DOJ are releasing daily numbers on the number of arrests, hundreds of arrests, over 1,000 now. Half of those illegal immigrants, nearly 500 illegal immigrants, many of them with long rap sheets. So the crime rate's down. I think they went 10 or 11 days without a homicide, which hadn't been done in several years in Washington, D.C. So the streets are clean. Crime is down across the board. Even the mayor, Mayor Bowser, Democrat mayor, has admitted, yeah, this is working. Crime's down in D.C. People are safer. So yes, it's working, and President Trump's looking at options to deploy this similar approach at other cities.
Yeah, I don't think he can. He doesn't have the constitutional authority, I don't think, to send troops, federal troops like the National Guard, into cities without the request of the mayor or the governor. But he can in the federal city, the capital.
Yeah, and he could send in other federal law enforcement agencies, not necessarily the military.
Right,
You've got the
like
FBI,
ICE.
You got ICE, you got FBI, Department of Homeland Security. So there's a lot of options to send in other than troops that he could look at.
But if the left really wanted to do something to stop violent crime, particularly violent crime in these big cities like Chicago, they would implement what President Trump has done in Washington, D.C. In other words, the governor of Illinois could call up the National Guard of Illinois.
Correct.
To help in Chicago with crime just out of control, violent crime. I think last weekend they had 55 shootings or 7 dead in Chicago. It's like another weekend in Chicago, violent crime out of control. But instead the left screams, no troops in our cities. All right, we'll see you next time on Reason and Company.